Hey everybody, welcome to Mr. Cohan's YouTube channel. You found it, which is great. Make sure you have that note sheet that I passed out in class, as well as a pencil to write down every single thing that I write down. That'll get you prepared for the next day. Today though, we're going to start by reviewing multiplication. It's a concept that you've done for years, but you probably didn't spend too much time over the summer doing it. So let's get ourselves back to the review of multiplication. Here is a classic multiplication problem that most of you could solve. It says, folding chairs are set up in a school auditorium for a play. There are 15 rows of chairs. Each row has 8 chairs. How many chairs are set up for the play? All right, let's break it down. First question says, what are we trying to find out? Well, let's go to the actual question that says, how many chairs are set up for the play? So what are we trying to find out? How many total chairs are set up? So what we're trying to figure out is how many total chairs there are. Great. What do we know? Guarantee the problem gives you some clues. Let's look at what we know. Folding chairs are set up in a school auditorium for a play. Great, so we got folding chairs set up, all good. There are 15 rows of chairs. Aha, that's key. We have that there's 15 rows and each row has 8 chairs. Perfect, so we know that there are 15 rows and 8 chairs per row. Awesome. So just so you're aware how these note sheets work, every single thing I write down, you should be writing down on your notebook. So we know we're trying to figure out how many total chairs are set up. What do we know? We know that there are 15 rows and 8 chairs per row. Great, but that doesn't tell us how many chairs there are. Let's break that down right now. Read and solve. This is the same problem we just did, except for this time it says solve using the area model. Okay. There's a few different ways to do multiplication. One of the ways I'm going to show you is the area model, something you should be familiar with, but let's just review. We know that we're going to do 15 multiplied by 8. Awesome. To set up the area model, what you're going to do is you're going to just break down the numbers by their place value. Okay, so let's look at 15. 15 is 10, because you got the 1 in the tens place, and 5. So we're going to call that 10 plus 5. And because 8 is just a single digit number, we're going to leave 8 by itself. So we're going to put 8 over here. Maybe right now you're starting to look a little familiar, this area model. All we did was take 15 and we separated it into easier numbers to deal with. A 10 and a 5. Put it together as 15. Now when you multiply using the area model, start with the side, multiply the number on the top. So we have 8 times 10, which is 80. And then you have 8 times 5, which is 40. Awesome. Last step, add them up. 80 plus 40 is equal to 80 plus 40, 0, 1, 2. I have a total of 120 chairs. Now, I'm going to double check this answer using the traditional multiplication method. This is another way that some of you will do it, which is cool. Here's our area model. Traditionally set up, I would go 15 times 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ding, ding, ding. Checks out. We're good. 120 chairs. Okay. Now, this next one I want you to try on your own. I'm going to read through, and it says, you try. There are 22 pumpkins in a row. There are a total of 8 rows. Okay. How many pumpkins are there in all? At this point, what I'd like you to do is pause the video. Try the problem on your own. Then, after a few seconds, after you solve it, click play, and I'm going to walk you through. Hit pause now. Okay, hopefully you tried your best to solve it. Now, let's break it down. What do we know? We know that there's 22 pumpkins in a row. What else do we know? There's a total of 8 rows. And what are we trying to figure out? How many pumpkins there are in all. Perfect. Solve using the area model. Let's do it. We know we're going to do 22 times 8. 22 is a 20 plus a 2. So we're going to say 20 plus 2. And 8 is just a single digit number, so we're going to leave it over here. Boom. Okay. 8 times 2 I know is 16. Then you got to add that 0. 160. 8 times 2 is 16. Done. So we have 160 and 16. Last step, add them up. 160 plus 16. Notice how I lined up the place values. The ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place. 0 and 6, 6. 6 and 1, 7. 1, that would be 176 pumpkins. Awesome. Now, let's double check using the traditional method. Some of you may actually prefer the traditional method, which is all good. 22 times 8. Because 8's in the ones place, we line it up with the ones place. 2 is in the tens place, and 8 doesn't have anything in the tens place, so we leave it like this. 8 times 2 is 16, carry up that 1. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Would you look at that? 176 and 176. We're good to go. All right, put this note sheet in your folder, bring it back to class. See you tomorrow.